Okay, so I finally heard this thing fire off, and and I still am super, super stoked and excited. But what I really need to do is see if it actually idles and give it a few revs to try to clear out anything that's in that exhaust. Now, I would think just that little bit of starting up probably moved anything that was in there out. But I need to make sure that that's clear before I put the turbo on. And I'm still kind of like like hand shaking because I can't believe it just fired off like that quick. So, so I'm gonna try to see if it'll idle. I mean, hell. Okay, I'm not gonna hook up the laptop. I'm just gonna fire her off and see what she does, and then I'll diagnose after. Fuck yes. I can't believe it idles like that. Um, so I do have the OEM fuel injectors in here because I thought the 80 pounders were bad when I was probing and got 12 volts on both sides, but that's apparently normal with a Speeduino Megasquirt setup. So I'm gonna pull all the top end off and well, the upper, and swap out those fuel injectors. So I think when I hit the throttle, it was leaning out because it was expecting more fuel to be squirted. But I'm super, super excited. I can really start hammering shit out and getting stuff wrapped up and actually just finally installed for the final time. Oh, I am so excited, so freaking excited. So I do have oil squirting out of this whenever it was revving. This is the breather on the filler neck. So I think I've got some crankcase pressure to deal with, and the crankcase check valve that's in the back, it's not hooked up to anything, so I'm going to plan on bringing those two lines out to a catch can and then having a vacuum on the inlet of the turbo if possible. If not, somewhere maybe I'll get like a check valve for a inline check valve for a brake booster and have it hooked up to the manifold. That way it constantly is pulling a vacuum out of the crankcase and doesn't allow it to pressurize. So I've done a few setups like that before in the past on the Supra when it had a supercharger, and it worked really well. And I've done it on a few other cars that I've worked on. So that's a little ways off because there is still plenty of stuff here to put together. So I'm gonna keep on cracking at it because I'm I'm excited. Just got the downpipe welded. I, you know, the more you get into welding projects like this, if you're, you know, competent, you start to improve. And I'm pretty happy with this. Like, there's the fitment of the pipe makes such a big difference, though. Like having these faces really tight. I mean, that I only had one blow through, and I think it was on the elbow here. Other than that, it was all just straight welding, and I'm really happy with the way that turned out. So the next thing to do here is along this line is that's right where the frame rail is, right here on the right. I have to dent this section on, like, probably from like here over, to give this downpipe enough wiggle room to fit without hitting the evaporator box and the frame rail. And then on the far side, the transmission bell housing. So it's all got to fit together perfectly, and the best way I can think to do it is to put a dent here. It's turbo time. Really? Come on. So we still got a little conflict. Right up to there. So that is hitting the frame when I give a little space up there for the evaporator box. So back to the hammer.